Hello, hello, hello. We're going live in a few minutes here by surprise at 12 in the afternoon on a Thursday. A couple announcements again. Um, I want to start going live on Wednesdays at 7:35 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. So live at 7:35, live at 7:35, live at 7:35. Can you remember that? Wednesdays live at 7:35. So let's see if that holds out, and if we get any people that can dedicate some time and start showing up regularly. Otherwise, it's just random that we pop on here, and then you may not pick up any viewers at all while we go live. So, aside from that, um, yeah, we're gonna do a lesson today. I couldn't think of what the title, so I had this long rambling title, but it's basically about getting out of the one pentatonic shape. So that'll be today's lesson, and then a final thing before we jump into it. I think I can play. Let's hear a pentatonic box real quick. I sustained an injury today, and that's the first I've played guitar since I got home with it. And anytime you damage your hand, the first thing you think of, which hand, is the first thing I think of, because my fretting hand is my most important one. I think they're both pretty important, but it was my fretting hand, and luckily it was only my thumb, so not bad. You can still play most of the things you need. It's really a pain if you get a slice on your finger. You guitarists know that you're not playing for a while when it's uncomfortable, and then that sucks, right? Well, you should realize just how much your thumb is worth too, because I was just having. I noticed the trouble is in bending the strings, but I think we're okay. It feels like just a mild sprain or a little whack. I got hit with a piece of wood that flew from a chop saw, and just kind of crushed me real fast. A big quick whack in between another piece of wood. So, um, and it's just a little touch black and blue there. So I instantly just ran, put some ice on it, and it's movable. There's just a touch of mild discomfort there, like a little strain pain, right? So I don't think we're too bad off, but any little change like that, it's like I don't think I should be straining it to play really fast today, and that's a bummer because that was on my list of things to do today. Jam on the guitar, and now we'll be maybe playing, but playing a lot slower, and that stalls my practice on my technique and everything. So that's kind of a bummer. And I guess the point of me telling you all this about this hand, that's luckily still pretty good, is that I have to work a construction job to maintain everything, and I'd really like to get into um, teaching music, which probably won't pay as much or float my bills like bashing away at construction for 35 to 40 plus hours a week. And um, so I'm just saying that if you could think about that Patreon support, what it's doing is this: it's enabling me to move into the my dream job as a musician, totally, just or be able to create my life around music, which is my greatest skill. I'm not at any time soon going to be able to take this construction into my own truck and my own tools like anytime soon. This is something I should have done when I was 18. I'm in my 40s now, my over my mid 40s. So that being said, there's not a lot of hope for me in this, and there's a lot of destruction and damage to me in this construction business. It's got its perks and merits, and it helped me be fit and a little bit more able to tone my muscles to be able to move the pick faster, I guess, is what I'm trying to say. Got me in a little better shape than my driving instructor job. However, it's also taking a toll on the most important thing about my music, my hearing. I don't like all the rapping. I'm wearing earphones now. The boss just looks at me funny when I want to protect my ears all the time, and I don't want to be in that environment where people don't get that you're even a musician. It's not the environment for me. So anything you can do to support Patreon, will help move that direction as I try to move that direction and try to adjust everything so I can transition into teaching music here in town, which is Western New York, in case you wondered. So, that being said, I think we're ready to start the lesson. There's probably one more thing I was going to say, but let's get down to a lesson here before we lose anybody. Oh, yeah. No, this is what I was going to say. Where does your money go? Where will your money go? There is an important thing here. If you support me on Patreon, I want to do two things. I want to, it would have to be at a certain level, but if I got, to be a channel that was as well liked and watched, of course we'll have to upgrade a little bit and change maybe what we do a little bit, but as big as like Signal's Music Studio or Rick Beato, of course, I don't think I can get to those levels with what I teach, but should I do that, get that big, I want to donate some of my earnings to cancer research. Having lost my dearest friend of 20 years, almost a year now, coming up a year anniversary. So, it's a tender spot with me, and I thought, hey, what a great way to try to give back, than to try to help research in those fields. Although I'm one of those firm believers in just making sure your diet is right, because I believe, like they're saying with all this latest information, I do believe that diet is big on how you feel and think throughout the day. Diet, my friend. If you're still eating stuff, I'm not going to tell you what to eat, but think about it. Anyways, that's not the scope of this. No one wants to hear about all that. They'll start to hear about what to do with their life from anyone else. So, that being said, I also want to give. I will give for every let's say we'll start with a ballpark number. For like $25 I get, I'm going to donate $1 to someone else's channel. So and you guys can vote for that. So maybe we start helping out Signal's Music Studio, and then as we get to the next level, it's Adam Neely or Rick Beato, or they kind of don't need any help. I think they got a lot of subscribers right now, probably, but some growing channels we can help out 12-tone. Like 12-tone, we can help out Jens Lawson. I am not teaching you jazz today. I am not Jens Lawson. But that guy's got such helpful things to help you step into that big realm of music, that big realm of creation, which is stepping from what we're doing here into jazz. This gets you to be able to understand my method here. If you go to Jens Larson's channel and it's just way over your head, you're fascinated by what Rick Beato says, but you get lost real easy, this is where you start. Get all the basics down pat, and everything they say is totally understandable, because you get the basics of music. Because it's basically, you're just learning your alphabet here, and it takes a while. It's like, you're learning a new language. Like, imagine learning, just pick your most alien language to you, and, it's kind of what we're doing here. All right, on to a lesson. Sorry for all the rambling, but the ultimate message there was thank you for any support you can give me on Patreon, and please consider following that link. And if there's any trouble with the link, or something doesn't work or something, or I've got something messed up, or I don't have the link down there, I think I do, just leave a comment for me, and I'm sure to get it. So let's get focused on a fretboard here. This shirt, by the way, hopefully it's not too distracting, was bought by that friend for me, who will be the reason that I'd like to donate to some research. Okay, namely cancer research, breast cancer research. Okay, so breaking out of the pentatonic box. So this might be, this is who this is geared for, people who only know this one shape. And I think there are a lot of you out there, because, this was me when I learned to, once I learned this shape, I stopped taking guitar lessons, because I felt like I could probably figure it all out from here. I figured a lot out. I got all my rock chops down, but eventually I knew that there was a lot more, and this just wasn't allowing me to see it all on its own. So here we got the pentatonic box, as you well know. So, in our mind's eye, our fretboard is the E string, A string, D string, G string, B string, E, lowercase e for the top there. Right? So, I'm putting it on the 3rd fret on the G. And those are the things you can do with it by adding in, you might know, like I did, that you could go here and here and here. And then I knew a little bit more of the other shapes of where the other notes were, and I never found myself ever going there. I could do a lot with this box, but you've got one particular sound, especially when you only understand it as the minor pentatonic box. Always putting your root here and never putting your root there, where it becomes a major pentatonic box. Let's hear how a major and minor sound. I'm going to use the E string ringing out so we can compare scale notes to one lower bass note. Serious sounding, so that would be most likely the minor, and that's playing minor. The root is on this note here, the E, 12th fret. Now let's make it major. Okay, so, totally different sound there. Okay, so that's the same exact shape. I was just playing it down the neck so that this part of the box, this note of the box, lined up with the root note, the E. So slide this down so that you're on the, what is that, the 9th fret, and then this should be the 12th fret. 9, 10, 11, 12, right? So... And there you see I interplayed with major and minor, playing them together, and there was some little bits of musicality there, I thought. Okay, so what we got here then, you want a simple way to break out of this box. Let me show you some shapes here that got me free. First of all, consider this, that when you're jamming, you want to be jamming on the bottom 2 strings a lot. You want to be able to take those up and down your fretboard. Plus, you'd like to be able to just, see, when you play that shape and you jam around in it, it's cool, it works for a little while. We all know the typical moves that it has. The this, and the this, and the this. The Johnny B. Good lick. The David Gilmour pull off. The everybody else hammer on pull off. and the blue note that I just played. Okay, so you know that's got its usefulness in its like box shape, but you want to be able to just suddenly like break out of there in this direction, going down the strings, and take it by. We're gonna make it simple by using a pair of strings, so you get double the choice of notes. And you want to be able to go in this direction and that direction. You can already go in this direction, that's the box shape, and you might ask about this direction. Well, that's the octave direction. Oh, no, wait, what am I talking about here? Well, that is, this is the, no, this is the octave, so it's very easy, and then this is, I don't fucking know, but anyways, we're going to just hold off on that direction today. Here I am thinking I had an answer for that, and I probably do. It's just escapes me during this moment of this lesson. So let's concentrate on these guys first here, going left to right here, and waste some graph paper. Oh, we are down to 2 pages. I better be careful here. Let's try a little bit of this, right? And yeah, I guess so. Okay. Here, remember these shapes. I'm going to draw some simple shapes for you. You know how to play that on your fretboard? Note, 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 note. Skip one in the middle, so a little box shape here. Starting on the 5th fret. On the bottom 2 strings. So remember that. And we're going to put an X2 here because this occurs in 2 different places. Is that easy enough to remember? You've just covered almost about a quarter of your fretboard. So just that idea alone. And remember that these shapes that I'm showing you are actually, I'm going to give you them as a separate shapes, but these sides they're interlocked. They're basically, this is the, like if I draw this shape, this isn't a separate new area of the guitar. This is this. This is the same thing, but I just want it separated so you just isolate these shapes to your mind. Okay, we're going to put a ×1 there because this occurs 1 time. So we've got 2 of these and 1 of these, and we really only need another span of 4, another one about this size to cover the entire fretboard, and that's the only thing we need to know. And let me show you here. Put a wall here. I'm going to go like this. Oh, no, we need 2 more shapes, by the way. But don't worry, they're all interlocked, so we can remember this. This is also a ×1, but there's a reverse of this, and it's right here. I'll draw it right underneath it. Let's move this up a bit. Here, we'll go right here. Oh, did I just fuck that all up? Okay, well, I'm going to just draw it in a weird spot here because I just messed up. I'm using a pen, which is not good for visibility on the screen here on videos, but bad because you can't erase any mistakes that you make when we're live here. So, like that is almost like the inverse of that shape. So let's play that 1-4, and then move your fret in 1 and play 1-3. So like this. One, 4. So, as you probably guessed, if all these are linking boxes, then this probably is the exact same notes as that. And it is, but something just got totally screwed up here. I really messed up. Sorry. Okay. Okay, so my bad. Sorry. thanks for staying tuned and paying attention. And if you already know this, sorry for boring you, but some people don't know this. So to make the linked up shape, well, we better connect it that way. We better copy those. So we're going to be 1, 4 and 1, 3 that way. You know, we look at where this is like we're looking down at our fretboard the same way we do when we're looking down. That's why I do this all. It's upside down. It's the same way I look at my fretboard when I'm looking down at it. And yeah, so let's line all this up. So remember, there's 2 of these shapes, 1 of these shapes, and then these 2 shapes. So it's kind of like well, I'll show you here. So, or basically here, I guess this is what I wanted to say. You can kind of consider like this and this as one piece, and then this and this is the other group. And once you can know this, you have a ton of places to jam out going up the fretboard. So let me show you here, like if I was jamming on a... That sucks. As I looked up, I realized none of that was on the screen. So, and this goddamn, sorry, this Walmart chair just sinks down as I'm playing very deceptively and lose my guitar from the screen and these new pedal boards I made. Nothing fits in the office here. Right? Okay, so let's get everything reset here. I just did all that up this, moving up, and you can go as fast as you want doing that. We slowed it down for the video. I probably can't play all that much faster. I probably can. I don't know. Depends what I'm feeling. And I did that using what I'm going to show you here. Just these shapes, just these ideas, and let's organize them and show you what you need to know. So, like I said, that small shape. Are we in the picture here? Right? Is in fact the outside, the extension of the big shape, which you might recognize as the bottom of your actual pentatonic box that we were previously feeling stuck in. So we'll draw that right here. All right. And so remember, this was times 2. Well, guess where that resides? On the other side of that. So you've got this shape. If you already knew this, great. And you might think like, well then, so, you know, like what's the point of teaching anybody like so something just that seems relatively basic to you now that you've learned it? Well, and there was a time in my playing that because I learned everything in these big complex sort of box shapes, just clunky or just a little bit, a couple extra things to just think about when you're playing. The way I could never. Just if I couldn't conceptualize where the notes were, or it became a little shaky for me, it was just too risky to play down there, and you just never went down there. You just didn't do it, right? There's too much else to fudge around in playing in these areas, and having a couple bars go by and being out of your solo. So anyways, it was once I broke it down into these chunks that I can be like, oh, yeah, I'm here, and I'm thinking all these chunks, but you don't hear that in the playing because I'm not necessarily catering to the square. I just need to know what's where, and then I'm using my ear to jump or step around those notes. Okay, so we've got the 1 and the 2 there, and the the big centerpiece. So it leaves those two linked up boxes is all we have. So we're gonna put one here. And let me see here. I guess I could. Yeah, okay. All right, never mind. There. And at this point, we are back on the same notes as we had right here. This is the continuation. So now we're on the other part of the fretboard. You would theoretically, play there. There's your octave up pentatonic box, and on and on. I'm sure you can fill in the details from there or graph it yourself. We want to wrap up this, make these live lessons a little shorter now. So I guess I'm going to leave you with those thoughts here. But now you can get up the fretboard, and we're going to skip out on going diagonal. But with diagonal, you'll notice it's really, the whole thing is made up of these exact shapes. That's all there is. It's these, how many were there? There was 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5, of course. 5 shapes. Pentatonic. There's 5 shapes. Basically work diagonally the same way. So notice like the top 2 here. 1, 4, 1, 2. That is this one here. 1, 4, 1, 2. Those should be the exact same notes. Let's check it out. So, yeah, all that comes from just morphing from the idea of these small boxes into running through the larger pattern and then moving over using small patterns, then moving up back using a big pattern, and on and on and on. And you'll find that there actually is a lot of geometry in good guitar solos, like the way you move this way and then move that way and then move up and move that or something like that. You can do a lot of make some interesting a variety of sounds and add some variety to your soloing just by being directional in your playing. And then it's up to you in your familiarity with what you're doing, the level that you've practiced it, your equipment, your fingers, and all that stuff to bring some pleasing tones and life into what you're doing, and make it sound like something other than playing in little shapes. But it doesn't translate that easily. Like, people don't know that you're thinking in little shapes when you travel around like that. It just sounds like, wow, this actually sounds like your guitar more than most other guitarists who seem to only play in a little box, and you're just kind of out doing whatever. And the more you get used to this, then this becomes really easy to improv because it just falls under your fingers so fast and easy. Then you really are. Then now, just what you want to do is just make what we're trying to do is make this unconscious, so that it's about you and listening to the music and thinking about hearing what you want to play ahead of the game and then playing it as you. I notice that that's what's been happening as I've been continuing down this path of graph paper guitar playing, right? So going in that direction, we could consider that with the octave being there, that these two are these two, so then we would theoretically have that pattern and that pattern there, right? And on and on and on. So, right. And as you see, if you travel in that direction in the guitar, you're really in the same exact spot. So if that's what you want to do, that because now it's about creating phrases, and you may then it's about phrasing, and it's about call and response in your phrases. So that may be part of the call out. last part I played there was my response to the first part that I called out with all those. I gave a big variety and interest to my call out by using a device, which was the device of the moment was traveling in that direction, using the same exact four notes for my statement. That draws the listener's interest because you're basically being interesting on only four notes, and when you change position, you didn't mess up. There were still those same four notes. There was a correlation. There was a pattern, and no one is conscious of that. Those are unconscious correlations, and that's where people perk up because they don't. In our minds, we tend to enjoy those little that inner calculator going ding 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 ding. Hey, I've got good calculations, while we don't really know it's doing that, and that's in our hippocampus. I think that's all that stuff is. In case you wondered where I got all this from, look it up. Music is math, and you got a big math processor in there that handles a lot of things for you on a daily basis. Everybody, thank you for watching. Thank you for putting up with these sloppy lessons. And please leave your advice, your suggestions, your comments, your criticisms, all that crazy internet stuff, because you know how the internet goes. And have a great day. Enjoy yourself outside. Time to go feed my other channel. If you like cars, go see... I don't know what the hell it's called, the Red Spider or something like that. We're going to be adding some, maybe we'll add some footage to that. I don't know. We got a barn find car that we're going to go start. So what do you know? Here's the guitar guys doing barn find videos. I think you'll see that on my, I got to get my Patreon channel. So it's, I think I have two different ones, and it doesn't make any sense. Everything is so diverse. I don't know if I'm going to put everything on one channel and then just have people... But I know for guitar people, then they don't want to support a car channel, and the car people don't want to support a guitar channel sometimes. So, although a lot of you do play guitar and work on cars, so who knows? Let's see what transpires. But that's my day. Hopefully, you're enjoying your day, and I thank you so much for just even watching, even if you don't hit the like button or the subscribe button. Which I think you should, and the notifications button like everybody else says, so you get all that jazz, so you always know when we're live or whatever else is going on. And finally, the last thing I'm going to do is check my my chat box here for anybody. Did we get, Red Walrus had been a common visitor, however, perhaps at work or something like that, so we're on at a pretty unusual time, but only 33 minutes, not a bad time, no 45-minute ramble here about nothing. So, not about nothing, but you know how it goes. Okay, have a great day. Thank you.